Hello students, today we are studying our new chapter solutions, in which first point is introduction. As we know that the mixture is a combination of two or more substances. Now air is a mixture of gases, rock is a mixture of two or more minerals. These are the example of mixtures. Now mixtures are of two types. First is homogeneous mixture and second is heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous solutions and heterogeneous solutions. Now first we see what is meant by homogeneous solutions. Homogeneous solutions are the solutions in which the solute and solvent form uniform, homogeneous, one phase due to the attraction between their molecules or particles is called as homogeneous solution. Now what is the example of homogeneous solution? A solution of sugar or a solution of NaCl, that is common salt. It is the example of homogeneous mixture or homogeneous solutions. Now for heterogeneous solutions, a solution consisting of two or more phases is called as a heterogeneous solution. The example for this is a colloidal solution of starch is an example of heterogeneous solution. Now the term introduced here is solution. So first we see what is meant by solution. What is meant by solution? The solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more components or pure substances. A solution consists of a solvent and solute. Now first we see what is meant by solvent and solute. Now solvent means the component in which solution formation takes place and which constitute the larger proportion of solution is called as solvent. Example, in an aqueous solution of sugar, water is the solvent. Means what is meant by solvent? The component in which solution formation takes place. Now example is aqueous solution of sugar. Here water is the solvent which is used in the larger proportion and sugar is the solute which is used in the smaller proportion. Now the second definition is solute. Now what is meant by solute? In a solution, the component which dissolves and constitutes smaller proportion of a solution is called as a solute. Example is in sugar solution, sugar is the solute while water is the solvent. Okay. Now a solution consists of a solvent and solute. Since the physical state of solvent and solute may be either solid, liquid or gaseous. So depending upon these, total 9 types of solutions are there. So we see about the types of solutions. Now types of solutions, in which first we taken solid as a solute and solvent changes as liquid, solid and gas. So the first example is of type solid, solute and liquid solvent, in which seawater is the example. Next example is benzoic acid in benzene. It is the example of solid liquid solution. Next type is solid-solid, in which solute and solvent both are solid. The example of this is metal alloys like brass, bronze or copper in gold is also an example of solid-solid. Next example is solute is solid and solvent is gas. Here example is smoke in which the solvent used is gas and solute is solid. Next example is iodine in air. Here iodine is solid and air is gas. Next type is of liquid solutions, in which liquid means solute and solvent both are liquid in state. So the example is ethanol in water or alcohol in water. Alcohol means ethanol. Okay. Next example is liquid solid, in which solute is liquid and solvent is solid. So example for this is mercury in silver. In next type, solute is liquid and solvent is gas. So example is chloroform mixed in nitrogen gas. Okay. Next type is gas liquid, where solute is gas and solvent is liquid. The example is carbon dioxide in water. Here carbon dioxide is a gas, so solute is carbon dioxide and water is solvent as liquid. Next type is gas and solid, where solute is gas and solvent is solid. So here hydrogen gas in palladium metal is the example of gas solid solutions. Last, ninth type of solution is gas, in which both solvent and solute are gaseous. So the example for this is air, which contains oxygen, nitrogen, argon and other gases, in which both the solute and solvent are gases. So these are the types of solutions. Next point is capacity of solution to dissolve solute. Here suppose a solute is added to the solvent, it dissolves radially first, means it dissolves vigorously. The dissolution then slows down as more solute is added. As we add more solute to the solvent, the dissolution will get slower down. Okay. And if we continue the addition of solute to the solvent, then at a point where the dissolution stops and the solution at this point is said to be a saturated solution. Means at one point the dissolution of solute to the solvent getting stopped. That point is called as saturated solution. Okay. Now the definition is a solution which contains the maximum amount of dissolved solute and further the solute can't be dissolved is called as a saturated solutions. Means solute, and when solute dissolve in solvent, it dissolves radially. Next, the process of dissolution slower down, and at one point the dissolution of solute to the solvent stop. At that point the solution becomes a saturated solution. Okay. Solute plus solvent, dissolution takes place, it becomes a solution. and in reverse reaction solution on crystallization gives solvent plus solute, means a equilibrium is established between these. Next point is factors affecting solubility. The extent to which a substance dissolves in a solvent varies greatly with different substances, depending upon the solute nature of solute, solvent, temperature and pressure. So first we see the nature of solute and solvent, in which first is nature of solute. Generally, the compound with similar chemical characters are more readily soluble in each other. Means here we can say that like dissolves like concept is applied here, in which polar solute dissolve in polar solvent and non-polar solute dissolve in non-polar solvent. So first we see a solute may be crystalline, amorphous, ionic or covalent in nature. Means crystalline means sugar like crystals are there, amorphous means powder in powdered form, ionic crystals means having ionic, that is positive and negative ions, and in covalently bonded nature. The solute may be crystalline, amorphous, ionic and covalent in nature. The substances having similar intermolecular force tend to dissolve in each other. Means polar solute dissolve in polar solvent, non-polar solute dissolve in non-polar solvent. Okay. Now we see the example for ionic solid. Now we see the ionic solute dissolve in ionic solvent. Here NaCl, which is a ionic solute having Na positive ion and Cl negative ion, which dissolves in water. Water is also ionic solvent, in which H positive ions and OH negative ions are formed. So both are ionic in nature, so they readily dissolve and form a homogeneous solution of NaCl. Means homogeneous solution of salt and water. Solvents are classified into polar and non-polar. Polar solute dissolve in polar solvent. For example, the ionic compounds dissolve in polar solvent like water. Means example, NaCl dissolves in water. Both are ionic, that is NaCl, Na positive and Cl negative ions, and water having H positive and OH negative ions. So polar solute dissolve in polar solvent and non-polar solute dissolve in non-polar solvent. The example of non-polar organic solvent is non-polar organic compounds like cholesterol dissolve in non-polar solvents such as benzene. For example, benzene CCl4. Third is amount of solvent. More the amount of solvent, more will be the dissolution of solute. Means more the amount of a solvent will dissolve, more quantity of the solute. Next point is, or next factor which affect the solubility is temperature. Generally, as the temperature increases, the solubility of solid increases than that of the gaseous state. Gases decreases. Last factor which affect the solubility is pressure. Pressure has no effect on the solubility of solids and liquids since they are incompressible. They are not compressible, means solid and liquid are not compressible, so no effect of pressure on them. factor which affect the solubility, in which first is nature of solute, in which polar solute dissolve in polar solvent and non-polar solute dissolve in non-polar solvent. Means the concept of like dissolve likes applied here. The example for polar solute dissolve in polar solvent is sugar dissolve in water due to the intermolecular attraction or intermolecular hydrogen bonding between them. They means sugar and water. And non-polar is cholesterol dissolve in non-polar solvent such as benzene. Here cholesterol is the non-polar organic compound and benzene is the non-polar solvent. So like dissolve like concept applied here. Next is amount of solvent. Next is amount of solvent, in which more the amount of solvent, more is the solubility for solute. Next, temperature. As the temperature increases, the solubility of solid increases, then that of that gaseous state decreases. Pressure. Solubility is independent of effect of pressure in case of solids and liquids, but in case of gases, as the pressure increases and temperature decreases, the solubility increases.